Welcome back to Infrequent Updates, where we give you very little useful information infrequently. Well, I feel like I'm doing better. I've had lots of improvements, very little pain if at all. I can do chores around the house, which is great. Becoming a very agreeable wife here at the house. My only problem is I'm pretty mouthy and a little neurotic, so that kind of doesn't help at home, but I feel like I'm getting better with it. The kids, they like the food. They don't like my tactics, so they're starting to revolt. It's kind of taking a toll on us. So here I'm to say, Rachel's a little bit different than I, especially the office. She runs on compliments. Unlike me, I typically run on off-topic banter and grunts. So just, maybe give a compliment or two. It'll help out a lot. When it comes to my therapy, I've gone several weeks now. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. They say I'm improving. I feel like I'm improving, albeit slowly. The PT said I was scaring him 2 visits ago, and it's not for the usual reasons like you would think. He said that I was overachieving and that I was working too hard. And I thought that it was supposed to be physical therapy, but he said I needed to kind of rein it in a little bit. We can't really get to the aggressive types of therapy until after Christmas. So we'll probably have an update around that time when we can start doing some things I feel like will really start pushing us forward. The other thing I was going to tell you is I was doing some reading the other day, some research about how the compliments or critique from strangers mean more than those that are close to you. And I thought that was pretty interesting because you could tie that to a lot of aspects of life. That's probably why a lot of people tend to rely on social media for really everything, because they put a lot of weight on people who don't even know who they are. And I had a little experience with this. It was like maybe 2 weeks ago, and this is what I call the tale of 2 targets. I went to 2 different targets, 2 different days, but about the same time of day. So I dealt with a very similar demographic. The first one was over on Northwood Expressway, the Target and Chicken District, where there's like 11 fried chicken places within like a 2-mile stretch of street. Went in, people were like super nice. It was like almost like I was a pregnant woman. People would just kind of part out of the way. They would smile at me. They would, "Oh, do you need some help?" I was waiting in line, and the lady behind me, and these were all the same demographic. It was, childbearing age women, I'd say 20s to, low 40s. And lady behind me, she's like, "Oh, these are some really neat presents that you bought. Where did you find those? And who are these for?" And, the checkout lady was like, "Do you need any help?" And I don't, it was interesting. I had people striking up conversations with me on every other aisle, and I didn't really have a different face on. I was wearing the same face, the standard kind of just sullen, sad face I've had for the last month or two, and it was a good day. People helped me out that day. I felt better when I got home. It was interesting, and then. Maybe like a day or 2 later, I went to Super Target, which I don't know why they call it super. It didn't really save my day. It made it worse. First I drive up, I park, and I get this look from this lady who's driving too fast, who almost hits me, and she gives me this look that's kind of like that, which is important later on. So I go into Target, Super Target, and it's set up so different. There's just random crap everywhere. I couldn't find anything, so I'm kind of wandering around aimlessly looking at all the random junk. And there was an incident where 2 women weren't paying attention, and they nearly ran into each other. And I was behind one of those women, and they're like, "Oh, ha ha ha! I'm sorry." And then the one that passed looked at me like how somehow it was my fault or something. And I just thought that was weird. And then I only had a handful of items, and I was pushing a cart. Yeah, I didn't really want to carry things. So I get all the way around, and you know, I start to walk into the checkout lines, and someone opens up another checkout line, and you know, a lady clearly looks at me and goes, "Okay," and then she like runs and tries to get in front of me, which is fine. I don't care. But I thought, like, with the handy, capable sash, like I had at the previous Target, that I would get maybe an entrance into the entitled pageant. Maybe not in this place. This Target's very special. I guess Southwest Edmond has a very different way of living, or maybe they just don't have enough chicken places. I don't know what it is, but I guess the takeaway is maybe eat a little more fried chicken. I don't know, try to be nice to strangers. It can make their day. And we'll be back, obviously, with some more updates a little after Christmas. Hopefully you guys have a good holiday and get some rest, and we'll see you later.